What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I want to cover two things in this video. The first one, look, Miyo Yoshida versus Ebanie Bridges. They pretty much had a slugfest, they banged. And, you know, I've been saying this for the longest, and I mean this, man. Like, certain fighters, people make excuses for. Certain fighters, they just get nothing but hate. But one thing about boxing, unlike any other, combat sport, when you lose a fight in any other sport, they applaud you for the fight, for the effort. In boxing, people want to write you off. Now, Ebanie Bridges, she lost the fight. She's 37. Yoshida's 35. Is her age catching up with it? I don't know, but it's not like she was in there with someone that was much younger. But just say, 2 years apart. At the end of the day, what happened was simple. They came to fight. Yoshida had a better punch selection. She was quicker. She was beating it to the punch. She just basically showed more grit, because that's what it came down to. They fought, and Yoshida was just a better woman. And Ebanie Bridges, she knows that she lost the fight. She didn't dispute it. She applauded. She showed great sportsmanship at the end of the fight. And that was that. Just, even if you wanted Yoshida to lose, like, you don't know her or whatever, it's just, I wanted Ebanie to win regardless, and she lost. Okay, well, didn't happen that way. She lost. So, that being said, there's no reason to bash Ebanie Bridges because she lost the fight. That's the only thing that happened, was she lost. She wasn't the better woman on that night. They could fight again and the same thing could happen. I mean, we just seen Katie Taylor lose, and she came back and avenged that loss. So you never know. We've seen Nito Donaire go through it. We've seen several fighters, go through situations where they don't look so good. And even if they don't avenge the loss against the same person, they may come back. We've seen Bernard Hopkins lose fights and then come back and win titles. So it does happen. But, if it's the beginning of the end for Ebanie, only time will tell. But bottom line is, she just lost a fight. That's all. That's all. We just seen Rama Ali go through the same thing. She lost. She came back and avenged the loss to the person that beat her. Now, can Ebanie Bridges do the same thing against Yoshida? Well, maybe we'll see, maybe we won't. But that was a war. Now, that being said, I did a quick video about it. Now, let me just address this, and I want to get this off my chest, because I told you, this is the era of the bitch-made man. Clarissa Shields, she has a sparring session going on with a guy, a Russian guy, whatever, and Shields gets dropped in the fight. They leak the clip. Somebody said the same exact shit I said in the comment section. I said, we doing bad as so-called men when we're leaking footage of guys knocking down females. And so, bottom line is, men get dropped in sparring all the time. And we just seen Rolly Romero get his ass handed to him by a guy that's not even a fucking real deal fighter. And he sat there and denied it and made all this bullshit, and then the whole sparring session was leaked. He got knocked out. He got stopped. Shields gets dropped by this guy. And pretty much, she out of her own mouth, she made a video about it. She said, yeah, she ran to her car to get her knife because she was going to cut this motherfucker. And the coach pretty much, I guess, stepped in and grabbed her or whatever, however it went down. But at the end of the day, I would not want to even discuss the fact that I knocked down or out or dropped a female. He didn't even knock her out, he knocked her down. You understand what I'm saying? And they leaked this footage. And you don't feel like a bitch-made male that I dropped a female. Now let me put the footage on video. I watched this short video. I don't know who they are. There were two Asian people. It was a female Asian bodybuilder. And I guess she thought she could take this guy. And he knew, obviously, some type of self-defense, some type of martial art. He didn't hurt that woman. He just pretty much showed her, you got all these muscles and you're still not as strong as me. You're not on my level. He took her down, and he didn't hurt the woman. He just embarrassed her. I don't care what Clarissa Shields say. I don't care what Savannah Marshall says. I don't care what Alicia Baumgartner says. I don't care what none of these female fighters say. You hear the WNBA talk about how they should get paid what the men get paid. they play just as hard as the men. They're just as talented as the men, which is a crock of shit, because they're not, clearly. The WNBA, and I'm not saying that to just say it, the WNBA sucks. Okay, it's not in a good position right now. Will it ever? I don't know. But they basically are playing bad basketball. The game is repetitive. Just the same things. They can't really do anything fancy, anything to really excite the crowd, and that's why they're in the position that they're in. Okay. That being said, for you to find it in you, like guys like Keith Thurman, who even entertained fighting her, just because she got dropped in sparring, I'm pretty sure that doesn't change how Claressa Shields feels. But the point, what I'm saying is, it's not like she's putting her hands on people, she's getting up in people's faces. She just make a comment that she thinks she can beat Keith Thurman. So what? That makes you, as a man, I won't respond to Jerron Boots Ennis to let him know we can fight. Yeah, I don't want to fight him, but I'll entertain fighting Claressa Shields. And you don't feel like a straight bitch for that? So now you got guys running around here wanting to take credit and feeling good about themselves because you were able to take a glove with no padding and knock a female down. She addressed it that the guy had no padding in that glove. All right? That they either removed the glove, the padding, or the glove was just so worn that it had no padding. So she obviously, checked the glove herself to say that. You don't hear these people denying it. And in fact, the guy's response was something to the effect of those gloves were given to him by Roberto Duran, and they're special to him, and he didn't try to do anything foul play with. Man, listen, I own many pairs of boxing gloves. You know when a pair of gloves are worn out, and you know when there's no padding in the glove. So bottom line is, it's almost like, okay, let's say if somebody put brass knuckles on under their glove. So bottom line, either way, it's still foul play. If it's no padding, you guys cried like little bitches saying that that's what Fury did to Deontay Wilder, right? But because Claressa Shields is gets so much hate from people, and she's saying, no, that's what these motherfuckers did. She addressed that shit. Who's denying it? Okay. So what I'm saying is, as a so-called man, this is what men have coming down to now. Young guys fighting elderly guys who are far past their prime. You got guys in here fighting females and acting like they did something big. This is really it's more than distasteful. It's really more than distasteful. This is disgraceful, man. I wouldn't even feel like it. First off, if I was sparring with a female, it would be to just give her some work and give her pointers and we just giving her work or whatever. It would not be the type of thing where I'm sparring some female and I'm really putting paws on her, I'm punishing and Claressa Shields might think that when she sparred Errol Spence or when she sparred certain guys that they're really trying to listen, these guys are holding back as usual. So does it matter? No. But we're such like this, no, I can't even say we. When I say we is because I'm a male as well, but no. These dudes are such bitches. This generation of people is such soft bitches that we actually feel good to be able to say, I knocked down a female. Even if the glove had full padding or whatever, but the point of having an unpadded glove on top of that. And these people feel good just to say that they did that. That's some soft bitch shit. For real. And I don't know Claressa Shields personally. I don't know none of them. I don't know her. I don't know the guy that did that. I don't know these people personally. So I don't have a relationship with them. I don't have to. To understand right from wrong is just some common sense. My thing is, he's lucky, honestly, that her or a guy that's close with her don't find him somewhere and you understand, do him really dirty. For you to not feel and understand that what you did was completely 1,000% wrong, for you to not understand that what you did, what if he would have hit in the mouth and knocked the teeth out? Just saying, all behind you. This is sparring, and sparring, we know sparring wars can be just as brutal as the actual fight. Other than the fact of having on 16 ounces in headgear, which still, people still get knocked out cold in sparring. So we've seen, and I know, I've had them. I've been in brutal sparring matches and all types. So I know. I'm saying from experience, I speak up from experience. I don't speak from, and I ain't never had my ass whooped, for the record. Never, ever. Okay, but just saying, I know, and I know what it's like. Okay, I know what it's like. So my point is, any self-respecting man, I don't care how much mouth these females have. Like I said, they're not putting their hands on you. They're not challenging you, like getting in your face. No, just someone speaking into a camera saying, I think that I can beat Keith Thurman. And these bitch-made motherfuckers, soft ass, no, these bitches gotta be put in their place. Man, these bitches is like, okay, now you had that same fucking energy when you addressed Keith Thurman for backing out of a fight against Jaron Ennis. And he even told Clarissa, don't play with it. Tell about some girl, don't play with me. Like, oh, she lit a fire under your ass. But Jaron Boots Ennis even has a belt now. And this is why he may be fighting Mario Barrios, because Keith Thurman is one of the guys that turned the fight down. Bozzy Ennis made this clear. They reached out to Keith. He didn't want it. They reached out to Stan Jonas. He didn't want it. So, now it may be Mario Barrios. Yeah, but basically, this man having the belt doesn't light a fire under your ass and say, hey, man, this is a chance to be champion again. And you guys are okay with that, but you applaud a man punching on a woman. And hey, and I'm not knocking him for sparring with her, because, hey, they spar. But to take the route of recording it, it's obvious it was done on purpose. Hey, yo, we ain't got no patent in these gloves, man. And I'm going to tag her. And hey, that's what happens. And why is it only her getting dropped? It's the only part of that video that they show. So you might be impressed by her. Like, dudes are such bitches, man. I've seen it. I mean, that's not impressive to me. That's some sissy sucker, immature, ignorant, childish shit. There's some guy who has, I guess he has a YouTube channel, because he did something extremely stupid. The WNBA, we know that the games are not that exciting, man. We know that. The games are, we know that. And this guy wants to be a comedian. Maybe he is a comedian. But he shows up to a WNBA game with pajamas, slippers, and a blanket and a pillow. Goes through all this to make an ass out of himself. To sit there, like, in other words, these games are so boring, this is going to help me to sleep. I'm going to go sleep at a game. And my thing was, what he did was some goofball shit, but the reaction from all these dudes slapping their knees and falling off their seats and acting as if this was the funniest thing they've ever seen. It's like, yeah, I get what he's doing. I just don't find it funny. Reality is, this is a sad generation of men. Women as well. Let's just say people, but men just like to grow up and be raised by a stand-up man. And to see how soft and childish that these so-called men are now. It's just like, what are we doing? We're recording ourselves knocking down women and taking pads out of gloves, or wearing unpadded gloves or whatever. Just bottom line, for y'all that applaud that, man, y'all some weak, soft bitches yourselves. Because there's nobody, as a man, as a stand-up man, is going to find that entertaining. Anyway, salute to Yoshida and Ebanie Bridges on that fight. Salute to Clarissa Shields for having the heart and the courage to address the shit and make it known what happened. She's not embarrassed because she got dropped. Shit happens. Like I said, men get dropped all the time. Some of the greatest fighters of all time have been dropped in sparring and knocked out in sparring. But the fact that you guys find this shit entertaining doesn't say a lot about you in a good way. And anytime a guy is talking about a female as if they are on the same level, not only are you a hypocrite, but you're feeding into the bullshit, but you show that you're soft. Especially when you got men calling your name, but you won't address them. You won't go in there and put and mix it up with them. And now you want to talk about your legacy and what you've done and how certain fighters aren't ready, but I'm going to entertain fighting a female. This is a sad generation to be a part of. And to be honest with you, as so-called men, you motherfuckers are nothing but little boys. And if you have sisters, if you have a wife or mom, and you witnessed the man beat the fuck out of them, and if all your coward punk ass would do is sit back and say, well, I told my mama to stop talking shit. But bottom line, like I said, This is not a thing of Clarissa Shields putting her hands on people. She's not making threats to people. She just said, plain and simple, having a conversation. The hate is so real. And a lot of men hate on her because she's accomplished more in women's boxing than they have in male boxing. And they just talk a lot of shit. Why does it bother people so much what somebody else says? If you do and say things that irritate me, I don't have to watch you. I don't have to support you. So even when I give the boxing news, it's just like, you know, you hear people talk, you see things happen, and it's like, yeah, this is what we're stuck with. This is the world we're in right now. But I will never fall into this shit and submit to it and become a part of it. So it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, talk to me about Ebanie Bridges and Yoshida. What y'all think about this Clarissa Shields and this this cowardly move of you know, sabotaging a pair of gloves so I can hopefully land the shot that I need and record it, and that's all he got on footage is her getting knocked down. What happens to everything else? Yeah. Anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.